What is that?
This cheap old weather vane. I know I come out here all the time and it's pointed in a different direction, but I don't think I've ever actually seen it move. You know what I mean? I oil it once in a while. Alright, I gotta get back to work. So I found out my neck was a hair off on one side, and I shaved it down with the disc grinder, you know, the flap disc, and got them even and everything, and it was still doing that. It was still cockeyed, and come to find out, I just didn't have the freaking axle bolt tight enough, so it was flexing. Once I tightened it up, it stopped all that. So, good deal, huh? All right. And then I proceeded to go over here to my parts and start cleaning them up. And they've been sitting out here in the sun. I'm sure they're hot as a firecracker. But there's the triple trees set up, all got the edges all rounded out and got them all nice and ready for welding. And I got my feet or my keys trimmed out to a rough draft. I still got to go around them and smooth the edges now that I got them cut to shapes that I'm happy with, and I've let them sit out here in the sun until they're too hot to touch. But here's the legs, the rockers. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do now. Alright, there's my rockers, my front shoes for my front legs, sorry, the rear legs, and the shoes for my front legs. All cleaned up. Actually, the keys, as I've been calling them. I don't know why I said shoes, because of legs, I guess. Anyway, they're all cleaned up, good enough. I'm happy with that. They've got a nice little rounded. They're all smooth, so they won't have any binding or chafing. And you already saw the other parts. Let's stack them out here. Oh, ain't that a sight? Ain't that a sight? Huh? Yeah. Can you even see that? Oh, yeah. Almost mirror finish. Look at that. Yeah. All right. I'll put that all back together now and begin to start welding, maybe. Yeah. Wow. Am I ready? I don't know. It's awful hot out here. I might need to take a break. Anyway, yeah, that's what's up. I gotta finish the, I gotta put it all back together so I can size the front legs, because you may or may not know, but I made them way too long, and I'm gonna have to cut them on the top end. Let me see if I can give you a visual. I can't see what you're seeing. There we go, a little bit. There's the bottom of the legs. And up here at the top, I'll have to figure out exactly what is going on. There we go. How long this needs to be, and cut it off accordingly. Drill my holes in there, weld my nuts into it, so that my spring posts have something to screw into. Right there. So I got to figure all that out. And then of course I'm going to want to try to get some of this rust and stuff off of there before I weld them together. Just be easier to do while they're free. You know what I mean? On both sets of them. Probably run a wire brush over them in the grinder. Get that crap off of there. And just give me a head start for when I do get ready to shoot some paint on them. Alright, so that's where we're at. Alright, so I took my angle grinder with a wire cup on it and went over the legs and got all the scale, the surface scale off of it. And I don't guess I ever took the time to show you guys how nicely these came out too. I think you can kind of see by them laying there how well they match. I'm very pleased with them too. They came out real nice. So yeah, that whole thing is a bonus. And shucks, I'm just suffering along out here in the heat, man. I think it's 100 degrees. Let's see what it is. Oh, it's not that bad. It's only 98. I'm sorry, 88. It's only 88, but it's in the sun. It's 88 in the sun. 88 in the shade, actually. But I'm in the sun, so I don't know what it is. Yeah, alright. Anyway. I know I've explained this to you before, but I'm going to kind of show you now. This is the whole setup. These are the rockers, and this is the rear leg support with key, as I've been calling it. This is the front leg key. This one will be stationary, as if there was no shocks at all. And this one is the one going to be attached to the springs. And this axle needs to be higher than this point here. And the reason for that is so that when you hit a bump, it naturally is already going up. It's going to want to go up. If it were level, it may want to go down, which would throw everything out of works, and the springs actually wouldn't work. It would be anti-functional. So this is 4 inches off of here, and this will be, say, 3 inches off of there. So it's just an inch higher, but it's enough to get it over the cusp, you know, so that it, when you hit a bump, it's automatically going to want to go upwards, which will push on the springs, and then they'll push back down. If you hit a hole, your weight being on the machine is going to have those springs slightly compressed already. So if you run through a dip, it's going to relieve itself for an instant, you know. It's going to push down that little bit, and that's where your shock comes from. And a lot of guys like to use these a lot longer than I'm doing, which gives you a I don't know, if you have bearings and stuff in all these parts, I guess that'd be fine, but this is a real simple setup. And for assembly purposes, I'm just using regular nuts, standard nut and bolt nuts. And when I go to final assembly, I'll actually be using nylocks so that I can tighten it to where it's tight enough to not slop, but yet still pivot. Right now I've got it to where it won't even pivot, because I got to put it together, and I want everything to stay as rigid as possible. But you see what I mean? So it can flex. And actually a thin coat of grease in there won't be bad either. Well, anyway, that's how that works. Fellas, and ladies as well, I am frustrated. I'm trying to get this to where you can see what I'm trying to show you without me having to zoom in, but let me move the camera. See if that's any better. I struggled with this for quite a while this morning. I had this all apart, and I measured this thing a million ways to Sunday, and it is 9 5/16 all the way around, no matter which time I measured it. That's what it is. And that's from here to here. Yet, when I bolt this on there, it's crooked. The bearings sit in there flush. I even thought of the possibility of that nut on that all thread being crooked and doing something, and toyed with that a whole bunch of different ways. And I thought I had it straight until I put it all together like this, and I tack welded here, 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 and here, and stood back and looked at it, and it's freaking crooked. Let me show you this. Oh, shucks. See that little bit of that key sticking out here? Now hang on, I'll show you the other side. just like it's supposed to be. Why does it keep doing that? Anybody got any ideas? I am puzzled. And I'm going to have to cut that back apart now. Here's the view from you sitting on top of it. As if you're sitting on it. Everything looks straight. Unless you look at it from the straight on, like, you know, coming toward it. Then you can see that it's off kilter. So yeah, I don't know. I was just about to spot weld those keys in there, and then I realized, well, look, that's not right. And I looked up at the top of the triple tree. I could plainly see that it was crooked. It's leaned over like that. You know, it's not. Oh, jeez. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I cannot figure it out. Needless to say, I'm puzzled. So, I'm going to kick back and relax for a minute. There comes a time where you have to stop and take a breather. And this must be that time. I am truly perplexed, though. I really thought I was going to get something done with that today. Any ideas? Huh? Any ideas? Huh? Huh? I can't hear you. Talk to me. Alright, well, that may be it for today, everybody. If something else comes up before the sun goes down, I'll let you know. I'm not expecting it. Thanks for watching. I get her. May just have to be one of the things I have to sleep on. Alright, well, till later. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to all my new subscribers. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to comment. Tell me what you think, because I really need to hear it. I want to hear it. I love to hear it. I like talking with you guys. Alright, I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Don't laugh at me. I'm laughing at myself. You're not going to guess what happened. I had tightened the axle up so nothing would move and it wouldn't fight me. And it fought me because it was too tight. When I loosened those axle nuts up, everything sprung free and went right where it was supposed to go. And so now I've got everything tacked up. I've got the front legs cut to fit, ported for the flute holes, for the plug welds. Got the nuts installed on the upper end up here. Got it welded to the, or screwed to the bridge just to hold it in place while I plug weld it down here. And then I'll move the perch up and weld it where it goes up here. And I need to make a bridge, goes from here to here to support these so they can't flex and wobble and do that kind of crap. And heck yeah. But I'm going to put a couple spot welds on those just so it stays together until I get back out here. And I got to clean everything up and call it a day. I'm tired, beat, and I got to rearrange stuff in here to find a place for that new bike. And this one too, now that it has a front end on it. So my table's probably going to end up staying outside. And yeah. So that's what's up. Well guys, this is out of the ordinary for me, but I got the drop light out here so I can shoot this one little bit of closing ceremonies for today. You see I got my stretcher in there. All I gotta do is unbolt this, move it up, weld it on here, and basically install the springs, and the springer is done. See if we can get you can see where I spot welded, where I plug welded those little rascals. Now I gotta finish welding everything, of course. Everything's just tacked in place for now. As crude as it is, but you can see my daylight's got away, and Makes it hard to do anything. So, I just want to say thanks again. I had a rough couple of minutes there today, but we pulled through it and actually things came together. So all in all, it's been a great day. And you know the routine, there's closing ceremonies for this week. I gotta go back to work again tomorrow and do a few days of that stuff. Then I come back out here and do some more of this stuff, and you know how that goes. But thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking by me on this project. I'm so pleased that I actually have something to show for my efforts now. Yeah, it feels good. You know, I'll sleep good tonight, you know, that kind of thing. Anyway, thanks everybody. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye-bye. Even old Tuffy's sitting there waiting for me going, are you done yet?